But in today's world, when truth conflicts with narrative, it's the truth that has to apologize.
Welcome to Reeves Rants. I got a good video for you today. It's Bill Maher going off like he usually does, complaining about all the things that the Democrat left does. Doesn't seem to have too many specific complaints very often about what the Republican right does, but does complain a lot about wokeism and the economy and all the student loan debt and a lot of the decisions that the Democrat Party has made in the last 2 years. Bill Maher has had a lot of criticisms for. And a lot of people are very happy for that. They're like, oh man, he might be changing his stripes. And that's why I brought up this video. I want you to see what he has to say, and then I'm going to ask you the main question. So let's roll into it.
Portland Public Schools has a plan now to teach kids that the idea of gender, being mainly binary, was brought here by white colonizers. The curriculum guide says, when the United States was colonized by white settlers, their views around gender were forced upon the people already living here. Not even Star Trek would try that story.
This is just another example of Bill Maher going off about things from wokeism, and I don't have a problem with him going off about things from wokeism. I mean, most of the things he's talking about are factually proven to not work, and so I support the things he's saying. But the big question needs to be asked is, are you going to actually vote Republican? Are you going to vote against these ideas? Because Democrats and anybody who has ever voted Democrat needs to realize that the policies that are ruining our economy, our country, and have ruined California, are working on ruining New York, working on ruining Chicago and Illinois. Those are Democrat policies. Look at what happened to Detroit, Michigan. There hasn't been a Republican in charge in Detroit, Michigan in forever, in like 60 something years. So it's clear, if you pay attention, that it's the Democrat Party who are causing the very pains and problems that Bill Maher's complaining about.
I'm Tiffany, she, her. My husband and I are going door to door canvassing for Beto ORourke.
You must be new here in Texas.
We just moved here from California because our state was being ruined. Anyway, we'd love for you to vote for this politician who's just like the politicians who run California.
Well, bless your heart.
Talking about he's sick of wokeism and he's done with it. And the title even there says, Bill Maher's is officially done with woke. But the big question is, when all these people talk all this game like Bill Maher, and then they're only given two options. Let's say that 2024 was tomorrow, or the election of 2024 was tomorrow, and Joe Biden was running for president, and Joe Biden is still running for president, and Donald Trump is running for president. Who is Bill Maher going to actually vote for? How sick is he really of woke and the wokeism going on in our country? How sick are people on the left really? How informed really are people who voted for Joe Biden that your vote created this?
I mean, look, Joe Biden killed the economy and we've all witnessed the murder, right? Like, we know what he's been up to. We see inflation, and this is one of the reasons the red wave is coming, but it's been coming.
So for all the Donald Trump hate and all the woke hate that Bill Maher and many Democrats have and leftists have, who are you going to vote for? You only have one of two options. And if you already don't like Joe, and you're clearly telling us you don't like Joe, and all the things that are coming with Joe, because wokeism is attached to the Democrat Party. That needs to be known. You cannot detach wokeism from the Democrat Party anymore, because the Democrat Party's votes come from the wokies and the greenies and all the extreme groups. That's where their votes come from. So they're not going to change their ways of doing things. They're going to keep pushing racism as a huge motive for everything. They're going to keep pushing the lie that climate change is going to destroy us tomorrow and that it's the biggest issue that the world's ever faced. They're going to keep pushing transgender. They're going to keep pushing CRT in our schools and taking over parents' choices. They're going to keep doing all the things that the Democrat Party has been doing. And that's where people need to be aware of where it's coming from. The Democrats are the ones doing the things that everybody seems to dislike. Look at the approval rating of Joe Biden. Listen to Bill Maher himself.
Biden's economic approval dropping 5 points from our last survey to just 30% now. The president never had Republicans and has now firmly lost independents and even a chunk of Democrats and key demographic groups who put him in office.
Constantly ragging on wokeism in every episode he has, coming up with a new rule as to what new wokeism can't do. Are you going to vote for it? Because if you're so tired of it, then you will have to vote for Joe DeSantis or whoever the Republican is. And are you really sick of it that much? I mean, really? All the Democrats out there are so sick of woke. Do you know that you're the one voting in woke? Do you know that your party supports woke? And do you realize that if you don't vote against it, you're going to get more of it? And then you can't pretend like it's somebody else's fault. How sick of wokeism are you? Are you going to stop voting it into office? Are you going to stop promoting it yourself? Because as much as you hate wokeism, as soon as you vote for a Democrat, you supported it. The politicians then can't tell that you don't love it because you just voted them back in. The only reason why our politicians ever find out that their policies were disliked by the American people is when they get voted out of office. So if you're so sick of it, Bill, and all the other people who are on the left who've been complaining about it, and the Californians complaining about how California is being ruined, you're the ones doing it. You're the ones voting for these people to push these agendas. So if you hate wokeism that much, I would love to see Bill Maher vote for Donald Trump or the Republican and prove to us you're so sick of woke. Or is it just for ratings as usual to pretend to all the people who don't seem to understand that wokeism is coming from the very people that they're voting in? Bill Maher's majority audience are these people who don't even see that they're the damn problem. Bill Maher is the problem, because unless you're going to vote against it, then you're not that sick of it. With that being said, thanks for watching. Later.